Okay, so have you ever felt like, just completely overwhelmed by stress? Like, it's not just you, but it's impacting your relationship too.
It can be a real pressure cooker, right?
Exactly. So, in this deep dive, we're tackling that how to manage stress, not as individuals, but as a couple.
And we've got some really interesting research to unpack here. 5 key strategies, actually. And trust me, this goes way beyond the typical take a bath advice.
Right. Like, we all know the basics, but what about those deeper level strategies? Those are the ones that make a real difference. And the first one actually revolves around communication.
Which makes sense, right? But there's a twist. It's not just about talking more, it's about talking differently.
So it's not just venting to your partner.
Not exactly, no. The research actually calls it reflective listening. It's about really being present for your partner, being their sounding board, not jumping in to fix things or offer solutions right away.
Okay, so more like holding space for them to process.
Exactly. It's about creating that safe space for them to be vulnerable, to just let it all out. The goal isn't necessarily to find an immediate solution, but for them to feel heard and understood.
It's about empathy more than anything else. Feeling heard, not judged.
Exactly. And speaking of shared experiences, something else that came up in the research was the power of doing stress busting activities together.
Okay, so not just talking about it, but actually doing things together to de-stress.
Right. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy either. Think simple, think enjoyable for both of you.
So like what? Give me some examples.
Well, it could be something as simple as like cooking a meal together
Yeah.
or listening to music, even just going for a walk in nature.
Okay, so finding those moments of connection.
Exactly. Creating those little pockets of joy and relaxation amidst the chaos.
I like that. And I think that actually segues perfectly into the next strategy,
Yeah.
which is remembering that when we're stressed, we don't always show up as our best selves.
Oh, tell me about it.
Right. And this is where patience comes in. And I mean, a whole lot of patience. Because let's face it, stress can turn even the most even-keeled person into
A bit of a grump.
yeah, let's go with grump. But the point is, it's about recognizing that and extending some grace to each other.
Absolutely. Because we all have those moments, right? It's about remembering that stress is usually temporary, but how you treat each other during those times, that has a lasting impact.
Totally. It's not just about getting through the stressful time. It's about how you get through it together.
Exactly. And that actually leads us to another important point, the idea of approaching stress as a team.
Okay, so not your stress, my stress, but our stress.
Right. It's about shifting that mindset from I to we. It's no longer just your problem or my problem, but something we face together.
Love that. It's so important to feel that sense of support
Yeah.
and to know that you're not alone in this.
Exactly. It's about brainstorming solutions together, sharing the load, and knowing you've got each other's backs no matter what.
And that brings us to our final strategy for today, and it's a good one. The research talks about celebrating the wins, even the small ones.
Yes, because when you're stressed, it's so easy to get caught in that negativity spiral, right?
Totally. It's like you forget about all the good stuff that's still happening.
Exactly. So taking those moments, even if they seem small, to celebrate the wins, to acknowledge the progress you're making, that can make a world of difference.
Because those small wins help you remember what you're working towards in the first place.
Exactly. And it helps you stay connected as a couple because you're celebrating those wins together.
It's like a little boost of positivity to keep you going.
Exactly. It's about shifting that perspective, even just a little bit.
So there you have it. 5 research-backed strategies for stress-proofing your relationship.
And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about progress, right?
Exactly. It's a journey, not a destination. And you don't have to do it all at once.
Just take it one step at a time, one conversation, one shared moment, one little victory at a time. And remember, you're in this together.
And now we want to hear from you. Which one of these strategies resonated most with you? Let us know your thoughts.